Hello, I'm Nobby Clark, welcome to my workshop. I'm just doing this sort of update to the video I put out where I'd made up a tachometer to work with my Myford lathe. And the question of why I put the Hall sensor where I did. Let me bring the camera a little bit closer so you can actually see the position of the Hall sensor and the magnet. Bear with me just one moment. Well, I've mounted that, as you can see, the Hall sensor here to read off the magnet, which is mounted onto the flat side here of the ball gear. I sort of really copied this idea from somebody else that I saw on YouTube when I was doing some research on fitting the tachometer. I wanted to sort of get ideas from how other people had approached it, and in the end this seemed to be, for me, the ideal place to put the magnet. Right or wrong, it is actually sort of reading off the, if you like, mostly I think the side of the magnet. It may be picking up something from here on the flat surface. Now I'm told that ideally the Hall sensor should be positioned here, sort of facing the edge of the magnet to work properly, and that's how I've done it on the milling machine and on the mini lathe, the Chinese mini lathe, and they work perfectly fine, obviously. I had to fiddle around with the Hall sensor quite a bit to get it to pick up the magnet itself, and I've mounted the Hall sensor on this little bracket which is held in position with a bolt that goes through. You can just about see the top of the locking nut here. It goes through an existing hole here. I think I already explained that in the previous video. Now the suggestion was that perhaps I should have mounted the magnet on a sort of, if you like a flat surface of the ball gear. Now there is a flat surface here, although it is round. It is obviously a round shape. I probably could have got the magnet to sit on here, but there is a problem on this side of the ball gear. If I turn the spindle round, you see that it carries the locking device here, which would disengage the ball gear so that you can engage your back gears. Obviously couldn't mount it on here, and I don't know how well you can see this. Let me get a torch. Let's see if this helps. Helps a little bit, I think. As you can see here, there's another gear in here, which is the other engagement gear for the back gears, and there's virtually no space between these two gears. That is probably, I don't know, 3/16 of an inch wide, so no room in there to mount the magnet at all. Other options could have been to mount it on one of the faces of one of the pulley wheels, but that really is in the path of the belt drive, so I didn't want to do that. Now, right or wrong, this does work fine. The other suggestion was something that I'd already found in my research, where people had mounted the I'm going to move the camera along, is to mount the magnet here, either on the locking nut at the end of the lathe spindle, or make up a a little adapter to go on this end here and mount the magnet on it, but that would require drilling a hole in the top casing, which covers all the gearing and the change gears, drilling a hole in here for the hall sensor. I couldn't do that. I don't know if it's just me, I don't know. I just couldn't drill holes in the lathe. I've not done that for anything at all. I always try to use existing things that are there. Just couldn't do it. So that basically is why the sensor is where it is, and I'm reasonably happy with it. I've tested it all out using a handheld tachometer as well, and it all works perfectly fine. So there we are, that's it. It's working. Obviously I had to fiddle around for ages to get the hall sensor in exactly the right position for the magnet and the hall sensor to work together. So there we are, that's it. Now another question that came up was measuring the actual running speeds of the spindle on the lathe, how that compares to what Myford say it should be. So I'm just going to reposition the camera so I can show you this. Now on the cover on the top of the lathe, this is obviously covering up the belt drive. It has this information panel on here, and it shows you the running speeds for the different belt positions in either the high range or the low range. The high and low range is changed by moving the belt under here, where the belt runs between the motor and the counter shaft at the top here. And it shows the readings for 50 and 60 hertz. It also shows you the running speeds for the back gear position as well. Now, I have mostly used the lathe on the low range, which Myford say runs between on 50 hertz 210 RPM to 600 RPM, but I'm assuming this is sort of a rounded off figure. It probably has to take into account the motor you've got on the lathe as well. I'm assuming that. So what I did was I ran a test on low and high range at all these different settings, and I did a comparison, which, if I can get this in the right position, whoops, I hope you can see that clearly. So you can see that if you look at this, obviously you can stop the video to look at this more carefully. The lathe with this particular motor obviously runs a lot faster than what Myford says. So in the low range, at 210 RPM, it actually runs at 228, and 300 326, and so forth. And in high range, at 740 RPM, it is actually 778. And obviously you can see the rest of the ranges here, low and high range. So that gives you an idea. What I did originally was on the front edge of the inside cover of the lathe, for the range that I was normally working in, which was the low range, I actually wrote what the running speeds were. It's obviously slightly high, but not a huge amount. I've not bothered to sort of try and work out what the ratio is. It's sort of, 10% or slightly less than 10% faster than Myford say it is. So that answers another question I had. So it was, quite an interesting experiment to do, to see what the actual running speeds are. And at this is obviously at 50 hertz. So there we are. That's an extra bit of information that somebody asked me in the comments, and hopefully answering the comment I got on where I'd position the Hall sensor. As they say, it is what it is. So there we are. Anyway, thank you for joining me for this this little update video. I'm posting this sort of round about midweek because I already have a video ready in the can for the next Sunday. So thanks very much again for joining me, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.